You can do it, Rocky. You can do it, Rocky. Steven Johnson stocks. Quick recap, very quick recap, because you guys don't like long videos. Took me biggest loss this month. And it come from being a little bit overconfident and a little bit undisciplined. I'm also winning a higher percentage of trades than I've ever won before. And do you know why? Because like everything clicked again, like for a fifth wave. And like it was like all of a sudden I was Katie Tunstall, and it was like suddenly I see this is all I want to trade. But yeah, I got overconfident, broke all the rules, and but fuck it, because I could see that I could like understand the market a lot better now. And it was the first time I didn't cut the losses in 6 months, and this is what happened. So always cut your losses. But on the flip side, I actually won 3 trades in a row, something that I've never done before. I'm on about 4 out of 6 at the moment, and yeah, and it's just mental, because like I can see the human emotion on a mass scale, and like DRYS yesterday was like AKAO, exactly the same price action pre-market, exactly the same kind of morning price action, and both washed out after running a couple of days in a row. And like in the just EVOC, like you can just see like it's struggling as it's inching up. It's winning, it's a winning percentage, but it's struggling. And you know when it breaks that trend line, it's gonna snap, because people are already hesitant about it. It's just like unbelievable, like the insight that I've got now that I didn't have before. And I just want to give a special thanks to that. Special thanks to Tim Sykes. He's been teaching me all this time, being patient with me, even when I do major fuck-ups like AKO, which will never happen again. And also to Eric Russell. Eric, fucking hell, I'm like so fucking happy and honoured to have this privilege to like address you in this video and speak to you, because you've helped us a lot and you've taught us a lot. And he's one great dude, and I fucking fully recommend these videos. He's made 100K in 1 year, and he's also got a pretty fucking cool accent. And like I enjoy listening to the commentary on the videos when he's like, the EMA, no, that's not it. It's like the EMA was around 595. Hill was one heck of a day. Yeah, I can't do it, but he's a cool guy, and I really recommend you follow his channel. But this community, I don't want it to just be around about me. And yeah, and just one other thing quickly. Junk87 Twitter, Junk1987 a live trade on Snapchat, StevenJohnsonStocks.com. See them all there. The affiliate program, like I learned through Tim, I know pretty much a lot of stuff about all of the products and services he offers, because I've used them all to get to this great stage on the journey that I'm at right now. But yeah, I mean, I want this community to be about you as well as me, and it's a growing community, and I love it. But unfortunately, like there's a lot of retarded people out there, and there's a lot of awesome people like there is in the world. And I just decided to create 2 different lists, because like some of these people deserve to be fucking praised, some of these people deserve to be fucking shamed. So I'm going to start off with the awesome dudes list, and on the awesome dudes list, I'm just going to put Merton's name on this list, because Merton, he's a doer, and he's been following the channel since day one, and he's always watching the videos, and he's keen to learn, and he's improving himself. And I just want to pay homage and respect for understanding that it takes time, effort, and education to learn, and you're one fucking awesome dude. So thanks, Merton. And on the flip side, I get a lot of absolute retarded comments. King James Duval wrote, I think you need one-on-one training because it seems like you're taking a while to learn. Now, I looked up King James Duval, and he's on his Twitter, I mean, he's probably a nice guy, but on his Twitter profile, he's like standing with a hat on and horses, and he obviously looks like he's come from a privileged background. And I'm like, James, one, it took Tim Grittani 9 months to get consistently profitable. So me being in 7 months is clearly on the right track with the month on month improved percentage gain. So it sounds to me, James, like you're probably a nice guy, but it seems like you've been born into money, son. It seems like you've been born into money, brother. And it seems to me like you've been brought in with a silver spoon in your mouth, and like you've been given a privileged background. You're like, oh, I'm a portfolio manager, it says on your Twitter. It's like, dude, your dad's a portfolio manager. You just got given some shit. and you do not understand what it feels like to be working class and earn your keep. So unfortunately, James, I'm sorry, probably a nice guy, probably might not be, probably a bit of a rich kid, but I'm putting you on the go away list. Yeah, that's right, I said it, the go away list. Okay, so go fucking play on your horses. But anyway, like, I don't want to get too carried away. Here's the trades, guys. Fucking enjoy it. Enjoy it because I'm learning, I'm progressing, I'm getting better, fucking loving life, and it's the best fucking journey and the most happy I've ever been. So peace to that. Keep learning, keep studying. Affiliate links below if you want to learn with Tim. Ask us any questions, man. Change your life. Like, I feel, but I think it's almost like I got too confident and got too risky and fucked up. And yeah, and it's on this chart. It's on AKAO, which is a disaster chart to begin with because it's hard to predict because it's quite kind of choppy. So it had this whole run up, which is cool. And then I was trading it pre-market because I was like, get in pre-market. That's where the action will be, and you'll get in a bit earlier than everyone else. Which was kind of the first mistake. Because it kind of had this ramp, and then it was consolidating, and I was like, all right, I'll get up when it ramps again, and then it did it a bit faster than I anticipated. So I was in the 15s. Ideally, my entry would have been in the 1450s. And then it came up, and I was like, that's fine. I haven't got the best position in, but it's okay because, I mean, in reality, it looks ridiculous now. And again, I don't believe that this is really a bad trade, providing you stick to the trend line. Now, this trend line is going up here. And I'm like, if you get out when it breaks the trend line, you're honestly going to get out for maybe 40 and 80. So it's like such a negligible loss. It's like 0.3% or something, or 0.5%, which is okay. I mean, even if you got out, I think I'm already on it. Even if you got out at support here, I mean, you're losing 50 cents off 50, and it's about 3% or something. And honestly, it did consolidate. It did ramp up. It could have gone to the 16s. It genuinely could have. So I mean, you're betting kind of 50 cents worst case to make kind of $1, and the upside is infinite on this stock. I mean, you can see it's already gone from the 7s to the 15s. But obviously Classic, it's spiked a little bit, and then it's just going to drop all day and fade because it doesn't have strength anymore. And yeah, and I wouldn't have had a problem with the trade had I have got out here or got out here. But what ended up happening is I froze a little bit because I was in too big a position. And then I was like, fuck, do you know what it is? It's gone to 1450, just let it go to 14. See if it can bounce. And it did bounce on 14. And I was like, great. I'm just going to set a stop loss at 1380 because I nearly lost that anyway. And then if it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what I really should have done is thought, this is a nightmare stock. Just get out when you can. I could have sold in the 1450s again. Dropped, stop loss went off in the 1380s. Here on the lowest point of the day. If I'd set it 10 cents lower again, but whatever. Could have been out in the 15s again. Which would have been, or even the 1540s again, which is just outrageous. But of course, my stop loss got activated at the lowest point. I got pissed off that it was spiking. I was like, quickly buy in again. It's going to run, and then bought in again, and then it just slammed back down, and I lost again. And there's a number of lessons here. I mean, one, if I'd have just got out here and it broke the trend, I could have and would have most likely dip bought it in the 14 second. Do you know what it is? If it cracks 14, fair enough, but it's down $1.50 off its share. Maybe it'll spike in the open, and I could have honestly sold it for $1.40, and then I would have lost 50 on the downside, but made fucking $1.50 on the upside. So I mean, I would have been up a few hundred if I just cut my losses here to give myself the opportunity to get in on the 14s bounce. So it's like fully knowing what I'm doing, but just run a bad luck, got to us, didn't cut my losses, and that's the lesson. I mean, coming into 2000 and I mean, obviously for the end of this year, but coming into 2016, I do not want to have one big loss at all in 2016, and I do not want to not stick to my plan. And I will trade the full lot of 2016. In reality, I'm glad I had the loss
kind of a bit up and down because I was a bit unlucky to get bought out here and then for it to run at the dead bottom in the 1520s. But honestly, I'm glad. Like, I'm glad. It's $300. It's not too much money. It's not insurmountable. I've still got 4,800 in the account, or 4,750. Um, I mean, it's really not going to affect us financially. I'm really disappointed because I broke the rules. But I think every trader breaks the rules. Every trader has gone through this at least once. I don't care how good you are. I know that Tim Sykes has took big losses. I know Tim Grittani's not cut his loss and he's took huge losses in the past. And then it shapes you and it makes you more disciplined and it makes you better. So if I can add this new level of discipline onto all of the shit I've learned recently, then it's a fucking epic, brilliant loss, and I'm really pleased I had it. It sounds backwards and fucked up, but honestly, like, I'm very happy this happened. Like, I'm very happy. Woo! It feels good when you make a trade, baby. Especially like when you're kind of just finishing work and you're getting out, and then you're like just taking a quick $120. Really nice feeling. And then I went on a date, which was cool. A really nice girl. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, this stock went parabolic, spiked up, and then it kind of came back down. I mean, I kind of think of the penny stocking framework sometimes because this is like a three when it ramped up, and then the four when it kind of came crashing down here. And then I thought, do you know what it is? It's kind of holding. It's actually uptrending a little bit. But when you look at the 2 day chart, sorry, let's say 5 days. It was holding all day. It spiked, which got me interested, but it was holding this 110 level. And I thought, well, on the long term chart, it looks like it could spike. It's holding support. Um, it's holding this intraday support here. So I was like, I can buy in. I got in 114. I wanted to get in about 112, 111, but I was like, whatever. I'll buy it off this support. So I'm risking kind of 3-4 cents. And if it goes back to these levels the next day, like the 120s, the 125s, 130s, it's an epic trade. And that's exactly what it did the next day. And obviously it was uptrending into the close as well, which was another positive indicator. So those like 3-4 indicators, and I was like, no, this is cool, do it. And some other guys were like, oh, that's not a good trade. And I'm like, they're like, why are you in this? And I'm like, dude, there's like 4 indicators, why not? And yeah, and as soon as I just checked early pre-market, and as soon as I saw it was hitting the 125s, I sold into the bid straight away. I was like, you got your profits, you got the 10% move that you wanted, and I thought this was pretty much best case a failed next day spike. So I took it, and then it obviously spiked, failed as anticipated, and washed out. But it's still keeping this 110 level. So I might have another look at it today. DOIS really quick. It was uptrending, so I bought on 6 as a kind of a support, full number, and I was honestly just following the trend up. Not a trade I like to do at all, but I was happy to do it. I mean, I know these stocks can run infinitely, so I was happy to do it, providing it held a trend. And I bought in at 6, around here, and it came up to the 620s, and it started to struggle to make further gains after this big ramp. And I knew it's a risky trade in the first place, so I got out at 620, knowing that this kind of drop was capable. And he has a drop, and it's broke the trend, and I wouldn't trade this anymore. Evoc, very sad. I went to buy it in the pre-market in the 95s when it dipped. To think I could have made like 50 cents a share, like 30% on the upside, is sad. But yeah, I missed it. But I had no idea this was going to happen. It's just a pharmaceutical company on good news. It's gapped up and spiked. It's kind of multi-month breakout. But I mean, the interesting thing about this one is I mean, if we just I bought it in the 220s here when it kind of made this break, and then I held it through this. But it's quite scary. It didn't break the trend line, and then it carried on. Now it's breaking the trend line. Now you're going to see it crash. Now it's broke the trend line, but you could have made up to maybe into the 50s. Yeah, maybe me Henry was a little bit late, but the thing is, it's obviously, yeah, I bought it in here, and then obviously the thing is, it's, if this isn't, yeah, it's an okay trend line. It's kind of making this bear bull flag coming down, and it's kind of like, well, what's it going to do? Is it going to break out, or is it going to continue the trend? And it actually broke out, and you could have sold into the 50s. I think I would have sold. I was selling it here because I was so scared in the 40s, so I would have definitely sold it in the 50s on this next candle. And I mean, it's funny because it's so predictable. I mean, like if it does start to spike, get in on the bottom of the trend, follow the trend, follow the trend. When it breaks the trend, get out. Look for the bull bear flag patterns, and you can make money. It's it's getting much more clearer and simple for us. I'm just trading. I should have been out in the 50s for a bigger profit. I was too scared. I was too scared of this happening because of my AKE loss or whatever it was. Because I know this can happen fast, so I'm very cautious at the moment.
That was a long watch, wasn't it? Wasn't it a long watch? Hi guys, thanks for watching the video, really appreciate it. I was just thinking while you guys were watching, maybe the fuck you list is a bit harsh. So like, if you think I'm going over the top, I'll value your feedback, let me know, and I will stop hating on people. But honestly, frankly, I think they deserve it. Let us know your thoughts on that. And yeah, and thanks for watching the video. It's a wild week. I'm super excited for the close of the month. I actually still think I can break through into profitability, just because I get it. And the market's very bull at the moment. And just to show that you've watched the whole thing, I want you to comment below if you've watched the whole thing saying Arick rocks, ARICK, Arick rocks. Because he's cool and he's been very helpful for the fact that of helping in this most recent wave of things clicking. Peace out. I'll see y'all later.